Aliens sent diplomats, then they saw Earth's Titan-class warship arrive. HFY Sci-fi Story. The stars stretched endlessly across the blackness, each a small spark in the infinite canvas of space. Among them, a delicate thread of light moved steadily, a human vessel, its sleek silver hull reflecting distant suns. It was a quiet ship, not large, not imposing, but it carried a presence that seemed unusual to the alien observers. In the council chambers of the Trellin system, the atmosphere was tense. Alien diplomats floated in graceful arcs, their translucent forms shimmering with colors that shifted like oil on water. They were accustomed to the ordinary, quiet traders, explorers, and emissaries from neighboring star clusters. Yet these humans were different. "We have never seen anything like this," whispered Kalen, the youngest of the Trellin diplomats, as he observed the approaching ship on the holoscreen. "It's almost ordinary, yet there's something in its energy signature." "Ordinary?" hissed Varen, the senior diplomat. His 6 eyes narrowed. "This is not ordinary. Its shields are minimal, its engines moderate. Yet there is a strength here that makes my sensors uneasy." The Alien Council had made a decision. They would approach cautiously but respectfully. Humans had been detected many light years away, and while intelligence scans suggested the species was developing, the Trellins were curious, not fearful. Diplomatic protocol was simple: send a delegation first. The diplomats boarded their ceremonial vessels, each shaped like a crescent moon glimmering with light that danced across their surfaces. They would be the first to speak to the humans, bringing gifts of knowledge, data crystals, and a holographic recording of the history of the Trellin people. Meanwhile, the human ship approached the Trellin system with calm precision. Its captain, Commander Elias Drake, stood on the bridge, hands behind his back, staring at the swirling colors of the alien sun. "Prepare a greeting protocol," he said quietly. "Let's be clear. We are visitors. We are peaceful." Drake's second-in-command, Lieutenant Mara Chen, nodded.
Holo message ready, sir."
"It's simple. Our introduction, our intentions, and our willingness to share knowledge." The humans were aware of the usual first contact scenarios. Most species, when encountering humans for the first time, either assumed hostility or underestimated their capabilities. Drake had learned long ago that arrogance could be dangerous, even if humans did not seek conflict. As the human ship drew closer, the alien diplomats' vessels began to glow, forming a semicircle around it. From the human perspective, it looked like a glittering halo of light, delicate and beautiful, yet carefully controlled. The humans responded with subtle gestures, a small green flare followed by a wave of holographic light projecting their emblem, a simple circle encompassing 3 stars, the symbol of Earth's unity. Kylan's multiple eyes widened. "They are greeting us?" he asked in disbelief. "No weapons deployed. No threatening formations, just gestures." "Foolishness or courage?" Vorin muttered, though even he could not hide a hint of admiration. "Perhaps both." The aliens initiated their approach. Their delegation projected a holographic garden, a serene representation of the Trellin homeworld, designed to show respect and hospitality. It was a ritual. No alien visitor could refuse it. The humans studied it with curiosity, their own holograms subtly responding, projecting images of Earth's mountains, oceans, and forests. Mara-Chen smiled. "They appreciate beauty, Captain." "Just like us," Elias Drake nodded. "But there's something more here. Watch their energy patterns. They're hesitant. Expecting hostility, perhaps." The first contact was cautious, polite, and strangely elegant. The aliens extended their digital hands, symbols of trust and friendship. The humans mirrored them. Words were exchanged through the universal translator. "We are honored to meet you," the alien's voice hummed in harmony. "Your presence here is unexpected." "We come in peace," Drake responded. "We seek understanding and friendship. Earth believes in cooperation, not conquest." A soft pause filled the space between them. The aliens scanned every detail. The humans' calm demeanor, the absence of heavy weaponry, the subtle control over the ship's systems. They sensed power, yes, but not the power of destruction. "Commander Drake," Mara whispered, "they're different." They expected to see weapons. "They're analyzing everything." "Let them," Drake replied with a quiet confidence. "Humans are not defined by their technology alone, but by their choices." Then, as if on cue, the calm atmosphere shifted. Across the vastness of space, a shadow loomed. Sensors aboard the alien ships flickered. Energy readings spiked. Kylan's multiple eyes widened in alarm. "What is that?" he asked, voice trembling. In orbit above the Trellin system, a Titan-class Earth warship appeared. Unlike the smaller human ship in front of them, this vessel was enormous, towering over the alien cruisers like a mountain of silver and blue light. It was a machine designed for strength, yet it radiated order and purpose, not aggression. The aliens recoiled instinctively. Their minds had no framework for such a ship. It was too big, too powerful, too earthly. Drake's voice echoed across the comms, calm and steady. This is SS Titan, a support and defense vessel. It is here to ensure safety, not to fight. We invite your council to observe, ask questions, and understand our purpose. Voron's trembling ceased, replaced by fascination. It is beautiful, he admitted. And peaceful? Yes, Drake said. Power is not always for war. This ship protects, repairs, and explores. It can build, rescue, and restore. Violence is not its design. Kalen studied the Titan-class vessel. Energy flows, structural designs, and defensive arrays. Every system was visible in detailed scans. Nothing was configured to harm sentient life unnecessarily. It was overwhelming, but in a reassuring way. Perhaps we judged too quickly, Kylan murmured. Perhaps humans are different. Drake's smaller ship moved slightly, positioning itself between the aliens and the Titan class in a gesture that symbolized transparency. Holographic displays appeared, showing human missions saving colonies from natural disasters, cleaning contaminated planets, and aiding species in need. Mara Chen explained, the Titan class is designed to be capable of any challenge. But our challenge is not to conquer. It is to protect life, maintain peace, and explore responsibly. The aliens were silent, absorbing every word. They had sent diplomats expecting an ordinary species. Instead, they found restraint paired with immense capability. Finally, Voron spoke. We will accept your invitation. Show us this ship. Explain its purpose. Elias Drake smiled. We will. You will see that power need not be feared when it is guided by wisdom. As the first contact continued, a feeling of quiet wonder filled the space. The humans' calm courage, the Titan class's silent assurance, and the alien delegation's curiosity created a moment of true connection, one that promised the beginning of a friendship unlike any other in the galaxy. The stars twinkled above, indifferent yet magnificent. And in that vast darkness, a small human ship glided forward, followed by a silent giant of steel and light. The Trellans could not yet understand it fully, but one thing was clear. Earth was unlike anything they had encountered, and the story of their people was just beginning. The Titan-class warship hung silently in orbit, a gleaming monument of human ingenuity. Its hull shimmered like polished silver under the alien sun, and long panels of blue energy traced along its sides, pulsing rhythmically as if the ship itself were alive. To the Trellan diplomats it was both beautiful and frightening. Kalen floated near the observation window of his crescent-shaped craft, his translucent skin rippling with astonishment. It is enormous, he whispered, his voice trembling slightly. I have never seen a structure like this. Not in our entire history. Voron, the senior diplomat, adjusted the sensors projecting holographic schematics of the Titan. It dwarfs even our largest star cruisers. How can a single species command such power? And yet, it is quiet. No weapons deployed. Nothing threatening. From the bridge of the Titan class, Commander Elias Drake watched the alien reactions with calm satisfaction. Beside him, Lieutenant Mara Chen smiled. They expected a ship of war, she said. Instead, we offered this. Drake nodded. They will learn. They always do. Humans are strong, yes. But our strength is in our choices, not just our technology. The Trallan delegation accepted the invitation to board the Titan class. Carefully, their vessels aligned with the massive docking bay, shimmering fields of energy guiding them gently inside. The interior of the Titan class was unlike anything the aliens had imagined. Vast corridors curved gracefully, illuminated by soft white light. The air smelled faintly of ozone and fresh metal, but it was not sterile. There was warmth here, a sense of order and purpose. Kylan's eyes widened as he stepped onto the floor. It feels alive, he murmured. Not like a machine, but like it was built to care. Drake met them near the docking bay, bowing slightly in respect. Welcome aboard. Please, explore freely. Ask questions. Nothing here is hidden. The aliens moved cautiously through the corridors, touching surfaces and scanning systems. Everywhere they looked, the Titan class was designed not for destruction, but for assistance. Large medical bays hummed quietly, stocked with equipment for all species. Storage modules held supplies to repair damaged colonies or clean polluted planets. Laboratories lined the halls, capable of studying unknown flora, fauna, and ecosystems. Varin stopped in front of a transparent wall showing the ship's planetary repair modules. "These are enormous," he said. "They can repair entire cities?" Drake smiled. "Yes, or even entire planets if needed. We build to protect life, to restore what is lost, to help those who cannot help themselves." Kalen studied a holographic display showing the energy shield system. The alien read out and noted the immense strength of the shields. "And this is for defense?" he asked cautiously. "Defense only," Drake said firmly. "We do not attack unless absolutely necessary. The shield is to ensure life is not harmed, including our own. But the moment of truth is how we choose to act, not how strong we are." The aliens drifted through the Titan class, their initial fear slowly turning into wonder. Every system, every detail, told a story of humans who valued life over conquest. Engineers explained how every part of the ship had multiple purposes, how energy that could power a weapon could instead purify water or restore ecosystems. Varin finally spoke, awe in his 6 eyes. "Your technology is magnificent. And yet, it is not meant to destroy. This is wisdom, something we often forget." Drake nodded. "Strength is meaningless without responsibility. We have learned this on Earth, through history, mistakes, and experience. Our Titan-class ships are not just machines, they are statements. They show that a civilization can be powerful, yet choose peace and creation over violence." The aliens moved into the central observation deck, where a massive holographic projection displayed the Trellin system below. They could see their own cities, mountains, rivers, and the space around their homeworld. The Titan-class's sensors allowed them to view not only physical structures, but energy flows, environmental conditions, and even signals from smaller life forms. "This is incredible," Kylan whispered. "You can see everything, monitor everything, and yet you do not use it to control or conquer others." Drake smiled. "Control is an illusion. Our goal is understanding, not domination. The moment you seek to force others, you lose the essence of your strength." Mara Chen guided them toward the training and strategy module, a section where humans simulated emergencies. Aliens watched as holographic scenarios of planetary disasters played out. Each simulation showed humans solving problems creatively, coordinating with other species, and preventing crises without violence. Vorin raised a question. "In your history, have humans never fought?" Drake's expression was calm, not defensive. "We have, but we have learned that conflict should always be a last resort. Our greatest victories come when we prevent harm without using force. Strength without wisdom leads only to regret." The aliens were silent, absorbing the human philosophy. Their own civilizations often measured power by fleets, weapons, or territorial expansion. They had underestimated humans, thinking them primitive because of their smaller fleets and modest first contact vessels. Yet here was the Titan class, proof that humans were not only capable of immense power, they were capable of restraint. Kalen's voice trembled slightly. "It is humbling to think a species could build such power and choose not to use it for war." Drake nodded. "Humans are flawed, yes, but we strive to make choices that protect life. That is what defines us, not the weapons we possess." Then a subtle shift in the air caught their attention. Sensors aboard the alien ships picked up a faint anomaly, a private signal from a small faction of aliens who had doubted humans from the beginning. The message was a puzzle, a challenge that could only be solved through intelligence, creativity, and ethics. Varine frowned. They are testing you." Drake glanced at Mara. "Let them. We do not fear tests. We respond with understanding." The aliens followed the humans to the environmental restoration module, where holograms of damaged planets were projected alongside simulations of repair. Engineers demonstrated how energy, technology, and collaboration could restore life and ecosystems in ways the aliens had never imagined. Kalen's multiple eyes shimmered with wonder. "This is unlike anything we have ever seen. Your power, your technology, it is all for life. Not destruction, not conquest, just preservation." Mara Chen nodded. "That is exactly it. We build to protect, not to dominate. Every choice we make has consequences, and our Titan class exists to ensure those consequences are positive. The aliens moved quietly through the ship, absorbing every detail. Their initial apprehension faded into admiration. They began to discuss what they had seen among themselves, their voices soft and full of awe. Vorin finally said aloud to Drake, "I have always believed that strength comes from power. Today I see it comes from restraint and wisdom." Drake smiled. "You understand well. That is the human way. Power is not an excuse for aggression. It is an opportunity to protect, to create, to help." The delegation spent hours aboard the Titan class, exploring modules, asking questions, and sharing ideas. Every interaction revealed more about humans than any words could express. Humility, foresight, creativity, and above all, a commitment to life. As the day drew to a close, the alien diplomats gathered on the observation deck, looking out at the stars beyond. The Titan class hung silently, a sentinel of peace and power intertwined. Kalen finally said, softly but with conviction, "We came here expecting a primitive species. We found something extraordinary, something we cannot yet fully understand, but we wish to learn." Drake placed a reassuring hand on the console beside him. "There is much to learn, not just about technology, but about the choices that define a civilization. Humans are not perfect, but we strive to do right. That is the greatest power any species can have." The Trellan delegation looked out at the stars in awe, feeling a mixture of curiosity, respect, and hope. The first contact had begun with caution, but it was evolving into something far greater, a bridge between civilizations built on trust, understanding, and the responsible use of power. In that moment, high above the Trellan system, the Titan-class warship remained silent, radiating strength without threat. Its presence alone was a lesson. True power was measured not by what one could destroy, but by what one chose to protect. And for the first time, the Trellans realized that humans were unlike any species they had ever encountered. The observation deck of the Titan-class warship was alive with quiet activity. Alien diplomats drifted among the consoles, still marveling at the technology around them. Holographic displays showed planets, energy flows, and simulations of environmental and social systems. Commander Elias Drake stood at the center, flanked by Lieutenant Mara Chen, ready to guide the Trellans through what humans called the problem-solving module. "This is where we test ideas," Drake explained. "Not for combat, not for dominance, but for solutions that protect life, create opportunities, and avoid unnecessary harm." Kylan's translucent form shimmered as he observed the holograms. "You solve problems without violence?" he asked. "How?" Drake smiled. "We use creativity, collaboration, and understanding. Sometimes the simplest solution is the most powerful." Mara tapped a console, and a holographic scenario filled the room. A planet in the simulation was suffering from a collapsing ecosystem. Forests were dying, oceans were polluted, and native species were on the verge of extinction. "Your task," Mara said, addressing the aliens, "is to find a way to restore this world. Think beyond weapons, think beyond force. Use resources, knowledge, and cooperation." The aliens blinked, unsure. Their civilization had relied on overwhelming fleets, shields, and territorial control to solve crises. This approach was unfamiliar, strange even. Yet there was no hostility here, no pressure, only guidance. Varen floated closer to a holographic tree. We do not know where to begin." "Start with understanding," Drake said calmly. "Observe the systems. Ask questions, work together. The answer is in the balance." Kalen studied the simulation, tracing energy patterns flowing through the planet's oceans and forests. "The rivers are blocked by mineral deposits," he noted. "If we redirect the flow, perhaps the forests can survive." Drake nodded. "Good observation. What else?" Varion's 6 eyes scanned the projection of the ocean. "Pollution comes from industrial runoff. If we filter and purify the water, native species may recover." Drake smiled. "Yes, and humans have tools for that." Mara tapped the console, and the simulation responded. Filters, energy flows, and restoration drones appeared. Together, the aliens and humans directed the technology in the hologram. Trees began to regain color, rivers flowed freely, and animals returned. Kalen's jaw, or what passed for it, dropped in amazement. It works, without destruction, without harming others. Just understanding in action. Drake nodded. That is the human way. Strength is not only what you can destroy, strength is what you can protect, restore, and create. The aliens took turns exploring different scenarios. One involved a planet caught in a meteor storm, threatening cities and colonies. Another presented a societal conflict between species on a shared world. Each time, humans guided the aliens to find non-violent, creative solutions. You teach us patience, Vorin admitted, watching a hologram where humans mediated between alien factions. In our history, we would have sent fleets, built walls, or engaged in conflict. We never considered solutions like this. Drake leaned against the console. Patience and empathy are tools as important as any technology. When you understand others, you often prevent conflict before it begins. As the day continued, the alien diplomats grew more comfortable. They began to ask questions of their own, curious about human decision-making. How do humans decide when to use power? Galen asked. How do you know you will choose wisely? Drake's gaze was steady. We make mistakes, just like any species. But we value life and knowledge. We weigh consequences. And we trust that intelligence guided by ethics is stronger than force guided by fear. Mara added. We also collaborate. Humans rarely act alone, sharing knowledge, learning from others, and thinking creatively. These things guide our choices. The Trellans tried their own approaches. They proposed solutions that were efficient but rigid, controlling populations, enforcing rules strictly, or using technology in aggressive ways. Humans gently encouraged them to explore alternatives that preserve freedom and life. Kylan floated toward the holographic projection of a planet facing energy shortages. We would restrict access, ration supplies. Drake shook his head gently. You could, yes. Or you could create renewable systems, share resources, and empower local communities to manage energy sustainably. Solutions can be protective, not restrictive. The aliens experimented with these ideas. Slowly, they began to see patterns. Human solutions were flexible, ethical, and collaborative. Even the small decisions mattered: how water was distributed, how energy flowed, how species were allowed to flourish. The aliens realized the human strength was in their mind and morality, not only their technology. Then came the private signal, the puzzle from the faction that had doubted humans. It was a complex simulation, a star cluster where planets, moons, and civilizations were in delicate balance. One wrong move could cause disasters. The aliens were hesitant. Varin floated near the console. They want to see if humans can solve this without force. Drake's eyes sparkled. Then we will, but not alone. We will invite you to solve it with us. Together, humans and aliens examined the star cluster. They traced energy flows, population dynamics, and planetary conditions. The aliens initially suggested rigid, controlled measures. Drake and Mara guided them to explore creative, ethical solutions instead, ways to preserve life and harmony without coercion. Hours passed. The aliens began to think differently, experimenting with new approaches inspired by human logic. They combined environmental management, resource sharing, and collaboration among species. Slowly, the simulation began to stabilize. Systems balanced. Energy flowed naturally. Societies thrived. Kylan's voice was filled with awe. We never imagined such solutions. You do not impose. You guide. You preserve. And you succeed. Drake smiled. That is the human way. Understanding, creativity, collaboration, and respect. These are our strongest tools. Vorian floated to the edge of the observation deck, looking at the holographic stars beyond. Your technology is impressive, but your philosophy, it is what truly defines you. We have relied on strength to solve problems. You have shown us another path. Mara nodded. Power without wisdom is dangerous, but wisdom paired with capability can create miracles. By the time the simulation ended, the alien diplomats were transformed. They had not only seen human ingenuity, they had experienced it firsthand. They realized that humans were not just advanced in technology, they were advanced in thinking, ethics, and creativity. Kalen turned to Drake. We underestimated you. We judged humans by appearances, but you are extraordinary, not because of your machines, but because of your choices. Drake placed a reassuring hand on a console. It is not about perfection. It is about striving to do right. Every choice matters. Every action can protect or harm. That is the responsibility of any civilization, human or otherwise. The aliens floated quietly for a moment, absorbing the lessons of the day. The Titan-class warship, massive and silent, waited in orbit, a reminder that power could be immense, yet controlled. It was not a threat, but a symbol that true strength lies in wisdom, ethics, and collaboration. As the Trellans prepared to depart, Vorin finally said, softly but with conviction, "We will carry what we have learned. Humans are unlike any species we have known. We will remember this day," Kalen added, "and we will return, not as skeptics, but as students of your way. There is much we can learn from you." Drake smiled. "Then the first step is done. Trust has been built, knowledge shared, and the stars remain a place for discovery, collaboration, and life." As the alien ships departed, the Titan class hung silently, radiating strength without threat, power without aggression, and wisdom without arrogance. The humans had proven, not through force, but through creativity, empathy, and collaboration, that they were a civilization capable of great things. And for the first time, the Trellans realized that true power is measured not by what you can destroy, but by what you choose to protect. The stars twinkled, endless and indifferent. Yet in their midst, a human ship glided forward, followed by its silent guardian. The galaxy was vast, full of unknowns, but humans had shown one undeniable truth. Intelligence guided by ethics is stronger than force guided by fear. And so, the bridge between civilizations grew stronger. The Trellans had learned the human way, and the story of their shared future was only beginning.